And yeah, you guys, you don't look at us like we are human beings. The same things you all go through are the exact same things we go through. We are not special.
So even with like the Gen Z men, I've noticed that when they start, they finish with me. Sometimes the millennial men pop in, pop out, but they stay consistent because there's certain things that they want in their life. They're really eager to not be like us millennials. Allegedly, we've been accused for being emotionally unavailable. We have been accused for acting like our parents. I don't think people realize that even PCOS can cause you to become diabetic, to get a stroke. And for me, I was leaning more to becoming diabetic.
Hi guys, welcome back to A Dose of Health, the podcast where I give you not too much, not too little, but just enough information to make you make an informed decision. This is the last episode of the year, so let's be like, I'm so excited. My name is Dr. Hope, and I have a returning guest, and we are so excited to have her because she was the first guest, and her topic was so relevant because we were talking about mental health. But I'll let her introduce herself, and then we'll get into the episode. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hi everyone, my name is Rubie Miseda. I am the founder of Africa Jipende Wellness. Our mission is to demystify mental health in Africa through therapy, and thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you for coming back. It's been a year, Ruby. It's been literally we're talking about this. It's been 1 year because we filmed last year in December, so more or less it's been a year. And I want to find out a journey to Inside Out.
Oh my God.
I don't remember what you said last time, but where are you mentally right now?
I would say that this month, I'm in such a wonderful stage when I would say physically, which is also influencing me mentally.
Okay.
So I think the last time I was with you last year, I was just looking forward to just going far away.
Yeah, you're about to travel.
But I think this year has been quite an interesting year for me as a person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll get to that because 2025, hey, where you better come correct. For me, I'd say peaceful. It's the last episode. I think things have gone well. I'm just peaceful.
Yeah.
Cool, calm, and collected is what I would say. Yeah.
No, that's really nice.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that that's where you've reached. I'm so happy to see that you're in season 2. And I'm actually happy that this time around I'm not planning to run away.
Oh, yeah. You're stuck with us. You're not traveling this December?
I'm traveling within the country.
Within.
Yeah.
Wow. Our closed boundaries.
Oh, yeah. This year has been a year of rebuilding and adjusting. Yeah.
Okay. That's nice. Now, medical jargon. Is there something you want to debunk that maybe you want the people to understand? Maybe they get it quite wrong. The floor is yours. And we'll be talking about something. Maybe you can use that as an example.
You mean one with my physical health?
Whichever.
So I think people expect therapists to be able to have a lot of answers and to help them through their personal life, which we do. We are trained with that. But I think also as therapists, we also need to take care of ourselves.
Yes.
And that's something I had to learn this year. And I think that the things that people may battle physically that they may not understand, and that takes a toll on them mentally also. Yeah. So I think one of the things I was talking to you about is living with PCOS, and how that this year my PCOS didn't do so well, and realizing that for years I had been trying to understand it and getting the actual help, but my PCOS took over.
Yeah. It was like, no.
Yeah, it was like, no.
Yeah.
So one of the things is that when I got diagnosed, it was about 10 years ago. I was not told what it is, but then I figured how to try and balance it with a huge team. But as we have new people in the medical field who are females and now understanding more about the female anatomy. And that's when I started to meet younger doctors who helped me understand that PCOS is actually what you said, a syndrome.
It's a syndrome.
Yes. And my PCOS took me hostage.
Yeah.
And I am currently now on a break, hence why people don't see a lot on Jipende, because I had to take care of my PCOS that was deciding to hold me hostage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that where I am with the fantastic team that I work with, they've got me to a place that I'm feeling much better. But I learned so much about PCOS, which now also allowed me to help my members who have it. And I don't think people realize that your physical health can actually affect your mental health.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I learned that PCOS can also cause you to have psychosis. It can cause you to have depression. It can cause you to have anxiety. It can cause you to feel paralyzed in your own body. And despite the physical attributes of the syndrome, I think when I started to also work on my physical health and take a break until January was when people will see more of me. I don't think people realize that even PCOS can cause you to become diabetic, to get a stroke. And for me, I was leaning more to becoming diabetic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was a hard reality. And as much as I've worked hard to also manage my life, I had to learn from my doctors that I have to adjust.
Yes.
Yes.
So at least now you're in a better space.
I am in a better space and I have to adjust, but I'm finally and very excited that the doctors have taught me a lot about a syndrome that I've lived with probably for even more than 10 years, and finding different ways of actually learning how to manage it, and manage it in a place where my doctors created emotional safety. But I think people also need to understand that this syndrome, and there are many other syndromes that can affect every area of your life. Yeah.
That's true. And I like the fact that you brought in the word syndrome.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes we just assume everything is a disease.
Yeah.
But a syndrome is basically a group of symptoms that happen commonly. And it's like they didn't really have a place to go. So now we group them together. And that's how things like now polycystic ovarian syndrome came about. So there are different symptoms or different occurrences that happen together. There's the infertility that we see. There's the menstrual irregularities and others. So we don't really know where to place them to name it an actual disease. But together, collectively, they form a syndrome.
Absolutely. And I think one thing as a mental health professional that I learned because I've been, this is my first month, I'm going on to my second month to my treatment, was that I was really unwell for so many years. But what I learned was how my mental health shifted. And that's when I was like, this syndrome is really was working in an interesting way. But I think also like leaning it more to like work-life balance, because I think I have the because I am the one who founded my organization, but also working with women who have these reproductive health issues, is the concept of how to design their stress management system. And the thing is that people don't realize when you have these conditions, maybe somebody who doesn't have it, they can withstand more stress than a person who has it, because your body will respond to it, right? So I think that even as time goes by after this incident, this is the scariest part that I've experienced, is more of how to shape mental health when it comes to assisting people with physical conditions, because people don't realize that it is the physical condition or syndrome that is really affecting their mental health. And I think one of the things that people don't talk about conditions, maybe I will leave that to you to explain, things like PMS and few things like PMDD, and how that really takes a toll on women's mental health, especially with the PMDD. Dr. Hope will explain that, is how women go into a state of deep depression. And even having, as we call it, suicidal ideations. And once that period has gone, it's
like you're back to.
Yes, it's like you're back to it. And I think like what people should understand is that even healthcare professionals may be struggling with their own health condition. And I hope people like you, Dr. Home, may provide more information on how such conditions and syndromes can be addressed on in the medical field.
Hopefully next year we'll have more and more of these conversations.
Kindly. Kindly. And I think for me, even talking to you about this was to also humanize the conversation that, yes, I may be a mental health.
Rain?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
From sun to rain.
To rain. So now that rain rudely interrupted us. I don't know where we were. But I think we're talking about PMDD and PMS.
And I guess also healthcare professionals also having their own...
sharing their experiences.
Sharing their experience can also help people not feel afraid. Or maybe help people understand that maybe this is something that they should go check out.
That's right. Yeah, you guys, you don't look at us like we are human beings. The same things you all go through are the exact same things we go through. We are not special. But I think definitely next year I want to get more into that. What I realized this year is there's so many topics, so many conversations to be had. So with time we'll get there. But there's one thing you've touched on that I think can be my word for the day in terms of jargon. And I'll take multidisciplinary. Because what you mentioned is you have a team. So you're not just being seen by one doctor. And in healthcare, there are certain conditions that need a multidisciplinary approach.
Absolutely.
Meaning you need more than one player to actually be involved in the management. And that is maybe your primary doctor. Sometimes it can be maybe a gynecologist and a cardiologist. Or let me use the most common one that I think should be there is a gynecologist and a dermatologist. Like if you're going to be put on family planning for your skin, your gynecologist should be involved in that conversation as well. Then also people who have chronic conditions, many a times we need to include your mental health provider because a chronic condition is something that will definitely affect your mental health.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. And I think that for the first time in my life, as somebody who has I feel like this is where I found my team. When I was first, and I think this is something that I've noticed with a lot of women who I work with who are members, is that they were told to go and get pregnant. That was the only solution even I myself was told. And then you see Dr. Google. That's why we need most of you guys. When I found Dr. Google, so I found Indian doctors from India. I think it's probably something that is affecting a lot of people. So I listened to those doctors, but I was still seeing my mental health professional. I was seeing a nutritionist, and then I got another OBGYN. But then I think since the past 10 years, this new team has come up with a different method. So I work with an OBGYN. I still have my therapist. I still have a cardiologist, right? And then what's very important is I have my family, and I think I talked about my friends
Yeah.
who are so supportive because they've seen me struggle with it. And I think what people don't realize is that even a lot of athletic women have PCOS. So when I was young, I was very athletic. So I think it just didn't show. So we realized that maybe around 18, when I was talking with my mom, that probably that's when I had my first flare up.
Yeah.
And then I managed to lose the weight. So not knowing that I have this condition,
Yeah.
but I was always very fit, very athletic. And then I think even that time when I was seeing you, I was having a very bad flare up with the syndrome. And so this towards the end of the year and being on this new treatment and following the instructions, I'm feeling so much better. But I had to take a step back with a lot of things, and they were trying to now reintegrate me back into a different way of living. Which they were happy that I already had a different. I was very balanced in a lot of things that I did, but now you see, the new treatment meant that I had to give up. I have to give up so many things, even my milkshake. Oh my God, my milkshake. But I think that even feeling better also helped me show up even better for the members that I work with. But I think that even last year when we were talking about how should people reflect on the year, I still stand with that. You know, I did not know that at the end of this year, I would have to just take a step back with a lot of things and focus on like being a mental health professional and stop other operations. I think I was telling you, Dr. Hope, I need to, I'm stopping everything.
I was like, Rubie, please.
And you're like, yeah. And then I was like, okay, fine, let's do this. But then other people call, I'm like, no, I'm stopping operations as we speak, so I can adjust. So I would like tell people that in life it's still okay. It doesn't mean that you may be doing something wrong. But sometimes you can go through life experiences where what you used to do worked, but then now it doesn't work anymore. So you have to learn the concept of change and adjusting to that change and adjusting to modifying areas of your life. Yeah,
that's true. Flexibility is important as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now, because I think you've even just introduced the episode.
Yeah.
But I think the last time we talked about mental resilience and building it for a new year.
Absolutely.
And now we're at the end of that year, and we just want to reflect. So we want to take some time to slow down, to pause, and just reflect.
Okay.
And I've been having conversations with random people.
Yeah.
Friends and just like random people I meet, and one common sentiment that I've been hearing is it's been an interesting year.
Oh, absolutely.
So I asked people yesterday on my socials if they could describe the year using one word. What word would they use? Let me tell you what they said. Let me find. They were so interesting. Maybe we can start here. There are 3 people in the room. If you could describe the year with one word, just shout. That's one. Kananu? Yo. Eric? Huh? Who? That's your word?
My word is wa.
Wa? Okay. What about you, Rubie? How would you describe the year?
Oh my God. You really want me to find
just one word?
I think it would be an
And that one for like or
like like I think this year I was caught off
guard
for sure.
I think many of us were like, hey, these are the responses. Someone said transformative. Another one said anxiety filled, exhausting, unpredictable. Someone said guy with multiple exclamation marks. Someone said one word is hard, but I'd say I survived. And I think many of us were actually on survival mode.
Absolutely.
Transformational, exhausting, stick to your path. Oh, okay. You're shouting. Roller coaster, starting over several times in all aspects. Chaotic, roller coaster, brutal, diabolical. And I think there's a common theme there, that it was like, where? That's the theme, or guy.
Yeah.
And just reflecting on now the mental resilience we talked about, as a therapist in your practice, what are some of the things that you've seen this year, especially with people, based on like some of the challenges they've had, the ups and the downs? What are some of the common things you've seen?
There's a new word I'd like to use, which is called trauma growth.
Trauma growth.
Trauma growth.
Okay.
I've seen this year a lot of people grow past the traumatic experiences that they built and see them find themselves in a similar adversary that they were in before, but seeing how they've built mental resilience in terms of how they emotionally process the incident, how they reach out to the emotional support to give them the emotional safety, even how they communicate what they want me to assist them with as they're building change. So I've watched people go through change, but they've gone through that change before. So it could be a loss of a job, it could be starting over in a different country. But what I've noticed is that because of how much they've invested in themselves in terms of emotional focusing on like their traumatic experiences, learning how to understand how they feel in that moment. I've noticed that when adversity knocked on their door this year, I was quite impressed. They were able to handle it.
Okay. So she said we are growing, and that's what we want to hear, by the way.
Absolutely. You're in
Yeah.
season 2. And I met you before. You were in season 1. And I think, but one thing that was very, a main thing that I noticed with everyone who's gone through trauma growth or found themselves in adversity and are doing better in coping is that they hadn't internalized it. They hadn't realized that they were in a adversary that once upon a time they couldn't manage, but now they're managing.
That is so true. Remember we talked about this?
Yeah.
Because I think for me the thing was I didn't know how to just sit still for some time.
Yeah.
Maybe think about what you've done, how this season has been, what it's taught
Absolutely.
you, what are
Yeah.
some of the highs, some of the lows.
Yeah.
Like my immediate response was next, on to the next. Season 1 is done. Season 2, when are we starting? Eric, George, when are you guys available? Let's go on to the next. And I think just taking the time to internalize has made me slow down. One.
Absolutely.
And just realize how much effort you're really putting into whatever it is you're doing and the impact. And yeah, I can say for real, we actually are growing.
Absolutely. And it goes back to what we spoke about last
Yeah.
year, where it was reviewing, right? How do you review the end of year?
Yeah.
So who you were last year is different from who you are this year.
Yeah.
Because you chose a path of self-improvement, self-development, and also, feeling the fear but doing it anyways, which subsidized
Yeah.
the perceived threat that you can't be able to do. Just to add on, one of the things that I've noticed is the core belief systems have changed with people who've gone through trauma growth.
Yeah.
So they went from feeling I'm not good enough to feeling that I am good enough. They went from feeling I cannot handle it to I can handle it. Or they come from a point of, oh, I should have done something, or they say I keep learning. So I've noticed that with the trauma growth comes with a shift of a core belief system that is positive, right? And that positive core belief system influences their thoughts, their feelings, and then their actions. However, there is also evidence that supports this core belief system, and they start to believe that this is who they are. But when I met them last year, they were probably falling apart.
Yeah.
But then this year,
Yeah. If you're talking about me, just talk about me. I know it.
but this year, they've built a foundation.
Yeah, yeah. I think for me, I didn't really realize the importance of positive self-talk and how that shifts your mind and how you see and value yourself. I used to think that it's just affirmations, or am I looking in the mirror telling myself, oh my goodness, you actually look good today. You did a great job there. But I think now the more I actually am intentional about it, I see the impact of it and how it's shifting my mindset.
Absolutely. And I think also this year, also as therapists, we are also encouraged to do more certifications, and as much as we go to uni or do our masters and do our practicum, there are different certifications of different therapeutic techniques that allow us to help people better. And I think that that's something I did share with you when
Yeah, you
I
did.
talked about how I started the eye movement desensitization reprocessing therapy, that basically focuses on like traumatic experiences, like stress experiences. I'm just trying to find the best way to simplify it, and I hope I am explaining it well. But what it does, it allows us to focus on like past, present, triggers by using bilateral stimulations. So the bilateral stimulations are the tapping, and then the eye movement and the sound. And through that, we reprocess what was probably seen as scary, and then installs it in a way that it's not so scary. So I think that also learning that technique has really transformed a lot of my members' lives, especially when they say it's a window of tolerance, where basically the person has enough coping mechanisms to just to cope, right? And putting them in that state where you take them through the EMDR, I've noticed that people come out with feeling, and I'll say maybe it may not work for everyone, but I'll speak on my experience with them. And thank you so much to my members for allowing me to do this with them. I've watched people go from I'm not in control to feeling that they're in control, and then seeing the impact of having that positive belief system, and how that has transformed a lot of their lives. And then they come back and they're like, oh, Ruby, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done that. So it's amazing to see that that has really helped even some of these really tough belief systems that I've tried with other therapeutic techniques, actually use this therapeutic technique to actually, this form of therapy, to actually get them out of it. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So, okay, apart from like the trainings, now for yourself as a therapist this year, have you noticed a change in maybe how people are viewing therapy? Or is it still the same as maybe last year or like 2 years ago? Or are you seeing a change?
I'm seeing that as years go by, people are starting to want to build a relationship with themselves, and people are having more conversations. So I am getting a lot of friends say, oh, you saw my friend, can I come and see you? So I've noticed that from this year, I'm realizing that friends are talking to each other about therapy, and parents too, funny enough. So even parents are calling me and like, I want my daughter to come with you, even if they're in their 20s or if they're 18. So I've seen that there's a conversation that is being normalized. But remember, I'm working in urban Kenya.
Yeah.
So for rural Kenya, I can't speak on that. Yeah. But then also at the same time, it's good that we have a board, that we're licensed. So that is a big win. Yeah, and I didn't mention that previously last year. Yeah. But also, interesting enough, I'm also getting men coming back.
Now, and it's actually Men's Month. So we are filming during Men's Month.
Yeah.
So men are coming back. Why are they coming back? Is there something in particular that they've been lacking outside? Or why do you think they're coming back?
So a lot of men have come back because, and funny enough, it always leads with the relationship, but I can't speak for all of them. But they're either been told that they're emotionally unavailable, or they are behaving out of character, or someone to be a better father, better a husband, or others because their friends are doing it and they're seeing the improvement. So I've noticed with friends, with men, it's the friends, like when the friends have conversations with each other, or maybe they want to, but I would speak on it in terms of millennials and Gen Zs. So even with like the Gen Z men, I've noticed that when they start, they finish with me. Sometimes the millennial men pop in, pop out, but they stay consistent because there's certain things that they want in their life. They're really eager to not be like
So and
us
so.
millennials, or
Are we that bad?
allegedly we
Oh,
are.
okay.
Allegedly, we've been accused for being emotionally unavailable. We have been accused for acting like our parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that,
Yeah.
right? So that's quite interesting. For the millennial men, it's they're trying to figure out why they stuck in a particular position in life. And then some of them don't realize that they might have anxiety, or they might be depressed, or maybe they're just neurodivergent, right?
That's true.
But what's interesting is that I'm getting the men that are coming to me are Asian men
Okay.
and African men, but I have now more Asian men who come and see me.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
And then the younger boys are African men. Yeah.
The Gen Zs.
The Gen Zs, yeah.
Okay. Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to my members. So
Yeah.
so it's very, very interesting to see the diversity in ethnicity when it comes to men's mental health from different cultural backgrounds and
Yeah.
religious backgrounds. Yeah,
And demographics as well.
absolutely, and demographics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, I think we've been seeing this around, that there's been an increase, or people are moving mad in terms of alcohol and substance use and abuse. Is this something you've seen this year? Has it increased? What's your take on it?
I think, to be honest, this year I haven't worked with a lot of cases, because usually such cases end up in the hospital, or like you'll find them in the mental hospitals.
Yeah.
But from the people my friends who are practitioners in mental health, it's always been there. That's the
Yeah.
thing. I don't know the stats because I've been focusing. I've had different types of cases that I've been dealing with. So yeah, I would say that it's always been
Yeah.
there. It just feels like that we're now documenting.
Okay.
Yeah, so the way we document and report has changed. The way we're having conversations about it
Yeah.
has changed, but it's been there for a very long time. Yeah.
Okay, that's actually true. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I think you mentioned something about being stuck in the same space. I think that's why most of the millennial men are
Yeah.
coming. And I don't think that's something that's only unique to them. I think for many of us, of course, seasons are a thing. And as we move towards the end of the year, I know there's normally this, should I call it like a slump? Like where you feel like, damn. Should I say damn? Like, man,
Well,
I haven't.
it's your show. You're allowed to do
I
it.
haven't met my targets, or like you haven't ticked off the things you wanted to do on your vision board. How would you help someone navigate that situation, or for also someone who's about to have like a transition and they're trying to prepare for that?
Definitely, one of the things that people need to understand is the concept of adjusting. Sometimes we may have unrealistic expectations and want to achieve certain goals in such a short period of time. So there's this thing that I've started doing with the people that I work with, is looking at restructuring. So even finding different ways of obviously you have the short-term, long-term goals, but then also simplifying the goals, as the long-term goals is the completion, the mid-term goals is the process, and the short-term goal is starting it. So it allows them to stop feeling overwhelmed. But it's just a way of also telling them, if you look at it in this manner, right?
Yeah.
According to what you want to achieve, is that time frame realistic or unrealistic? Do you need to adjust the time frame? And also trying to check if there are elements of perfectionisms, like the need to control, or if also they have attached their identity to achieving that goal. or even if they're comparing themselves, which then affects how they will go about getting what they want to achieve in their goals. So I think people really need to realize that it's okay to adjust your timeline. It's okay for you to realize that maybe what you wanted to achieve in 6 months might take 1 year. But it's more of, what are you learning about yourself while you're adjusting? Because if you learn more about yourself in that way, then even when you start to also create goals, you realize 3 months timeline is not realistic. Maybe 6 months, maybe 1 year. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I remember I was listening to this podcast. I don't know, I've gotten really into podcasts, like during when I'm exercising or walking or whatever. And the person was saying that many of us don't really take the time to just be present.
Absolutely.
It's like we just wait for the destination. And he was like, whatever you're doing, just be there. If you're taking a shower, take that shower. Be like, my shower gel smells so nice.
Absolutely.
This is such the hot water is like perfection. Like, be present in every step.
Yeah.
And I feel like for me that has helped a lot, because I'm one of these people who really was the destination, and you find yourself missing out on enjoying the journey. So when it comes to transitions, because I know for transition the destination is like really here. So like, this is the end of the year, maybe there's someone who's moving to a new job, moving to a new country, there's someone who's leaving a job. What piece of advice do you give that person?
You see, when somebody goes through a transition, is obviously like the things that you mentioned. They need to also understand that they should give themselves grace, because when you're transitioning, you're in a period of adjusting, modifying, learning, right? Obviously, when you go into a new job or a new country, you need to give yourself time to learn about your surroundings, and to learn about also what your surroundings are telling you about maybe the job, or also you learning more about yourself in it. But also never forget what you've already achieved, what you already know about yourself when you go through that transition, right? So even if you're transitioning into a new job, you need to understand that you are worthy of that job. So it is very important for you to also understand the concept of choice, understand the concept of sense of self-worth, understand the concept of action, right? But from a point of, what is this transition telling me about myself and the environment that I'm finding myself in? Because it's very easy for you to start feeling like you're not in control. It's very easy for you to shame yourself. It's very easy for you to feel guilty. Yes, the environment is new, but even you have your own skill set that you're carrying with you into that transition. So don't think that you're going just blank. There are already attributes of who you are. So that's where you look at elements of, maybe, where am I at with my confidence, with my level of confidence, in my level of self-esteem, and goes back to what I was saying in my levels, the core belief system, the positive belief system. So even if you're going through the transition, it's normal to feel scary, very normal. It's a new environment. You don't know who you may meet or who you may not meet. There is a level of uncertainty, but it doesn't take away the fact that you are good enough. Right?
And that thing of fear, I don't know, fear can literally cripple you.
Absolutely.
Like, you're just like, can you go, I'm trying, but I'm scared. But that's one of the things that I've really had to overcome this year. And it wasn't easy, but we did it anyway. But you see that thing but at what cost?
But you know, the thing is with fear, like I always tell people, is it false evidence appearing real, or what do you think it is? You know, is it just how you're feeling, or is the threat actually real? But that's because sometimes people are on flight or freeze mode the whole time. So they're like, somebody sneezes, hachu. There's something wrong there. Like, you start to freak out, right? But you can also learn from your fear. as
That's
much
true.
as you learn from your joy.
That's another thing, having a or a teachable spirit
Absolutely.
where you look at every event, every situation or opportunity as a learning experience. Yeah, I think there's more to get out of that than just saying, oh my goodness, I really suffered. Like, it's unfortunate that
that's
suffering
true.
is a must.
That's true. And
Yeah.
also, like, you can be a victim, but don't prolong it to a victim mentality. Because the victim mentality can also cripple you
Yeah.
and alter a lot on how you relate with people. Yeah.
And that's where resilience comes in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I think from the responses that people are given, the year has been a roller coaster, we can say. And as we are winding down,
Yeah.
I think many of us had expectations that maybe we haven't been able to meet.
Yeah.
Would you advise us? How I look at grief is there's different things that we can grieve. You can lose a loved one, a friend, but even just situations, you can grieve
Absolutely.
situations.
The coping with the loss of it. Yeah.
Exactly. So as we wrap up the year, how would you help someone who's in this space where they've really been on survival mode, flight or fight for the whole year or like for a long period of time, and they really want to make 2026 or the new year, the new season, a different moment for them? So how do they make that transition?
I think they're also what they really need to focus is also the storytelling that they're telling themselves about their experience, right? And adjust from survival mode, because what survival mode can do, it can isolate you. And it can cause you to become into a state of hyper independence where you don't ask for help, where you feel that if you can't do it, no one else can do it. So I would say that expand your protective factors outside you alone. So what were the things that you've learned about your survival mode, right? What are the other things that can take over? Because when you're in survival mode, you also become hyper vigilant.
Yeah.
Right? So meaning that elements of trust can also be affected. You could start to have trust issues. Work on building trust. Let's say, for example, if you feel like you're not good enough, work on how can I get to feel that I am good enough? Maybe behavioral activation. Maybe going and looking and telling someone, I need help. Do you know somebody who can guide me? And add on to those protective factors. They're just an example. Because the thing is with survival mode is that even when you get out of it, you can still behave like you're in it. Right?
Yeah.
So yes, it was difficult. That one nobody is taking away from you. But what is the difficulties telling you about why you should get out of that situation? Are there certain things that maybe you needed to read on, or maybe you needed a psychotherapist to help you, or maybe was that period, the survival mode, also very traumatic, that maybe you need to go to therapy so you can process that experience? If maybe you don't have the finances there, you can ask for assistance so that you can get out from the place of everything is falling apart, and getting into a place that I am in control. So realizing that, yes, you're human, and everyone will have a period in their life where they will feel like it's you against the world. And
the world is winning.
Yes, the world has been a very interesting place, especially in 2025. But where you start to tap into your positive resources, even remind yourself, okay, I used to be like this. What was it that I was doing that point? What is it that I'm learning about maybe the environment? Maybe you're in survival mode because you might be stuck in an environment that you're actually allowed to leave to start a new chapter. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but the factors also depend.
Yeah.
Unless you tell me in detail what it is, but that's a story for another day.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I think also something that I've been seeing is sometimes the initiative also has to come from you as an individual. Yes, of course, your community can help you, but you also have to push yourself a bit to try your best to come out of that situation. And it's hard. We're not going to say it's easy.
It's so
It's really hard. Yeah.
And, even I myself, who is telling you this, I've I had to go through a transition.
Yeah.
And a transition where, as somebody who is very, I love mental health, I want to do the best for everyone.
Yeah.
Where I actually had to be told, no, you have to take a step back. You have a syndrome. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it's just words.
I'm managing, please.
I'm managing, please. But then I also had to take a step back, and I also am going through a period of transition and adjustment.
Yeah.
Where who I was last year or who I was at the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore. So
Yeah.
I'm also in a period of what am I going to do, right? But because of positive resources, I don't feel like I have to make those decisions by myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned something now. There's this thing I've been seeing on social media about locking in, like the great lock-in. And I know this might come out in December, so maybe it's a bit late, but how Q4 has been the great lock-in. And I remember we had a conversation around it, because it's like sometimes people struggle with slowing down, and you just want to constantly be on overdrive. So as someone who is in the mental health space and you help a lot of people, what are some of the things you can tell us about burnout and chronic stress, especially towards the end of the year, and how we can change that so that by January we are not burnt out already? Because if we are locking in now, what are we doing in January?
Yeah. I think a lot of people need to understand is that at the end of the year, it happens a lot. A lot of people get burnt out.
Yeah.
But one of the things I would advise them to do is, burnout also comes from we say it, trying to use a nice word. Well, I'll just not use the bad word. I'll just say, you need to understand what stress is, number one, before you understand what burnout is.
Yes.
So, the thing is that with stress, you have different types of demands that wear or tear you.
Yeah.
And it brings in worry, it brings in fear, you get fatigued, right? And it can either transition into anxiety, which is fear of perceived threats in a nutshell. And then it can become chronic, where you start to feel like your body is shutting down mentally, physically, and emotionally. Now, it's always important for you to understand what are your internal and external stresses, which I had mentioned. The external stresses could be like commuting. Internal stresses, it could be like your personality. Maybe you are a workaholic. Maybe you are a perfectionist. Maybe you do a lot of negative self-talk. But then you also need to understand the industry that you're working in, right? Your responsibilities, and ask yourself, what is causing me to get exhausted? Because it's not only the end of year where people get burnt out.
Yeah.
By the time people are reaching 6 months in, or even 3 months in, they're starting to get exhausted.
Yeah.
It is very, very important for people to organize relaxation depending on their industry. Because you could be working in tech, you could work in media, you could be like self-employed. There people are doing different things.
Yeah.
But understand your busy season, understand your
not so busy season,
your low seasons. Design your stress management system based on those seasons. So maybe with like the busy seasons, you need to take more time off. So maybe maybe let's say you're in the media and you've shot so many videos and now you're getting exhausted. Use that to take time off. So reflect on your year in terms of my busy season, low season. What is my stress? What are my internal stresses? What have I been organizing myself? And what have I noticed when I shut down? Yeah.
Okay. So you heard it here. Please, if you haven't taken leave by this time, hey, I'm side-eyeing you, by the way.
Yeah, but also, please, this new year, new me.
Tell us about it.
I feel like people are so hard on themselves. They're like, you know what? I didn't go to the gym this year. So new year, new me. January, I'm in the gym. Yeah, by March, everybody's out of the gym.
Yep.
You see, the thing is, have realistic expectations. What if you start off excited going to the gym and then you find it's actually boring. Another thing, categorize your life in terms of physical health, mental health, financial health, social health.
You don't finish the other 4? The wellness wheel.
The wellness wheel. Please, please, please never forget your wellness wheel. Use it to look at your even organize your goals. Maybe for you, for mental health, your mental health is to put a boundary
Yeah.
with your animal.
Which I don't have one, but if you've spoken it into existence.
Or put a boundary with a particular individual that you realize is overstepping. That could be part of mental health.
Yeah.
Physical health could be like, maybe I want to hike twice in a year.
Yeah.
You put that there, right? Or maybe I want to understand the foods that work with my body. Or maybe I want to try new recipes. So you can have different goals for different categories in your life. But put them in a way that it doesn't have to have just 2026. You can put them there as things that you'd like to do, and then depending on your capacity, you can pick one and focus on it.
I like that. And I think there's a time I was listening to a person who wanted to actually become more physically active. They see that their goal is not to be able to run a 10K. They want to become a runner. So they were looking at the long term instead of just a 10K, because now after the 10K and then. So I think that, like, don't just limit it to 2026.
Absolutely.
You can have like what you want for 2026, but give yourself grace that even if it goes beyond and you're still putting in the effort, it's the effort that counts.
That's true. So even with those categories, you can just dump everything you want in it.
Yeah.
And then you just pick it from there because you have a reserve. You're like, let me go and review. Oh, okay, I really want to go. Ooh, I think I have physical capacity now to go and learn how to fight. And you put it there on that goal, and then you call up a student because you've built your physical capacity.
Yeah.
And then you learn how to fight. You tick it off. So I think realistic expectations will help you adjust to maybe not completing everything you want to do this year.
Yeah.
And you can still carry it on to the next year.
Yeah, it's not saying Sonati. Now when December 31st, 11:59, that's it.
That's true. Like for me, I had to learn that I used to always like to take off 3 times in a year. But now I want to take 5. Bear in mind, this works for me, may not work for other people because it works in different industries. But that's because I needed a self-care break where it's me and myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you go on like breaks for holidays, you're you and multiple people.
Yeah.
So maybe even when it could even be a weekend or like a long Friday where you just tell people, I just want time with myself.
Yeah.
And that's how you rejuvenate and you ask yourself, okay, what is really overwhelming me? Why do I feel so exhausted? Then you realize, I saw
It's a monkey.
it's a monkey. I saw 10 minutes. I went for 3 back-to-back social events and I was talking to about 20 people. And then you realize, I really don't do well with having back-to-back events. So maybe I can pick one.
Okay. I think that's a good review of the year. And
I hope so.
Basically, how we've navigated the year. So what is your December looking like? You said rest. What are you planning to do? You said travel. What else?
Well, December, I'm with my family. And so I'm back. I'm not running away across the continent. So December, I'm with my family, and then I'm also going off with one of my best friends to Lamu.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
To celebrate your birthday. I know it's December.
Oh no, the celebrating my birthday
is here.
Is here.
Okay.
And then I have another family activity to do. But generally, apart from that, it's obviously dealing with the syndrome.
Yeah.
And adjusting to life with it, and following the treatment and what my doctors have to say. So it's gonna be very, very slow.
Yeah. Which is fine. Change is good.
Yeah, and probably now I can play with my Lulu.
Your cat.
My cat, sorry. Yeah. My cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's great. I think this was a good conversation. It was a good way to wrap up the
The
year
year.
because we started here and now we're ending here.
Maybe to let people know, if I had to adjust,
Yes.
and I am a professional, I think everyone should adjust. Yeah. I'm also human.
Yes. We are also human. I'm only human.
Honestly, I'm only human, but I think that this new rest, I've seen that I've shown up so well for
yourself
and the people that I actually work with and the people that I love. So now I was told that I have to get back to business next year. And I was already told you need to adjust and prepare for that because right now you're in a bubble. So yeah.
So you need to. Do we bust the bubble?
I have to bust the bubble in January. So,
in January.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So now, is there any parting shot before we end the episode?
Guys, as much as everybody's into mental health, please start taking care of your physical health. They work hand to hand. I've told nowadays I'm pushing my members to go for annual checks. Please, because some of us don't realize that the conditions or syndromes or predisposed genetic conditions that could be causing you to feel anxiety, depression. I think also with women, also please learn about reproductive health, learn about things like PMS, Dr. Hope, is that one?
We'll get there next year.
But so you can understand how to align your lifestyle and align even your career choices. Yeah, in the future.
That's actually your lifestyle because, hey, luteal phase will have you on battery level 0.
Yeah, so let's hope for the best.
Okay.
And hopefully next year I'll see you again in November, right?
Hopefully. Or even earlier.
When I'm still on my hiatus or when I come back.
Both.
You're the only one who has told me I'm not allowed to go out.
Yeah, you're not. Just one day. All I ask is one day.
Just a couple of hours.
Yes.
And like, just a couple hours. And you didn't want my no.
No. I only wanted my no to say no to your no.
And then I'll take it easy. But anyways, thank you guys for having me so much. And even in a stage of where I'm also going through my own transition.
Yeah. Do you want to be found on social media?
Oh. You see what happens when you're adjusting.
The camera is yours.
So you guys can find me at Jipende Wellness. So the company is called Africa Jipende Wellness Limited. And our number is 074560 1992. And yeah, check us out. I'm really sorry. I'm on a hiatus for a little bit, but I will be back in 2026. And I'll be able to give you guys more information about mental health. And if you want to book a session, you're welcome.
That's a lot of brain math. We'll just put everything down.
Yeah, I'm like
0,
I'm like,
girl.
When you said November, I'm like, girl, I'm on a hiatus.
No, it's fine. They'll find you in 2026. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna, when you send it, I was like, okay, press collaboration. Yeah. So
okay.
Hiatus it is. But thank you so much.
You're welcome, and thank you for honoring the invite. We'll see you next year. Before that, of course, we'll see you in December for the event.
Oh, yes.
Guys.
Which you have.
Where's my camera? Please.
Again, I'm back in.
Yeah. Just for me.
Just for you.
But yeah, we have an event in December. It's called the Wellness Table, and it's Conversations Over Brunch. So the Wellness Table is basically just a way we can build community and take the conversation offline so that we can interact with each other, network, and get to just learn and converse around health. So please join us December 13th. There'll be more details in the description about how you can buy a ticket and how you can just show up with us and have a good time and learn something. So my name is Dr. Hope Simiyu. You can find me here on Instagram and on TikTok over here. If they put it here, it's over there. And follow us on the podcast, A Dose of Health, the podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Also, please What do people do on YouTube? Subscribe on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, Amazon, wherever you like your podcasts.